Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today I've got a little project to take care of. While I was gone, apparently my drill press has been exposed to some moisture, maybe doors being left open. Looks like some things might have been set on it. It's got a little bit of staining on it. And while that's disappointing, it's not the end of the world. And today we're going to be using some pretty common stuff in order to clean all that up. First, we're going to be using WD-40. That will hopefully get the rust broken up and some of that staining. And then we're going to be using a 3M sanding sponge. This is 320 grit, actually designed for flat surfaces. It's basically like having the sanding pad, but you already have it in block form because it's in a sponge. I've used these before. They work really, really well for doing stuff like that. And then as a final step for the cleanup, we're going to be using acetone to clean all that up. And I got some blue shop rags around here somewhere, but we're going to just be using some shop rags. You could probably use, painter's rags if you wanted to, any number of different things. Just some paper towels will be fine too. And then as a final coat, we're going to be putting on Bostik Glide Coat. This is a table and tool surface lubricant, and it acts as a bit of a sealer too. So hopefully that'll prevent stuff like that from happening in the future. And really you just have to apply this about once a month or so, once every couple of weeks, depending on how much you're using your equipment. And this is really designed for wood tooling that's going to be used in carpentry, so like table saws and stuff like that. It provides a nice lubricated coat to it, gives it a little bit of a seal, and it doesn't stain or affect wood finishes. So hopefully when we get done with this, we can get this all back looking like it did when it was new. So let's get started. I elected to clean the surface of this 3 times with the WD-40. Now the first pass, I let the WD-40 soak in for about 5 minutes. And my ultimate goal here was just to get the vast majority of the surface rust broken up. So once I let that soak in and then taking it with that sanding pad in several different directions, really helped to bring all that surface rust up. It was gone in the first pass. And it started working on a little bit of the staining there. On the second pass, I'd let the WD-40 soak in for about 10 minutes. And I started noticing a lot better results after the second clean. Now, in the end, it didn't get all of the staining out, but on that second pass, I was really starting to notice that it was cleaning up the metal pretty good. The third pass, I let the WD-40 soak in for about 20 minutes. And like I've mentioned before, it didn't get all the staining, but by that third pass, I could tell that the surface was really, really clean. Now, going over it with the acetone works so well. It only took about 2 cleanings of the acetone in order to get all of that residual WD-40 cleaned up. By the second pass of cleaning up with acetone, the rags were coming out incredibly clean. So the hardest part was just to get all that residual WD-40 up out of the oil valleys and out of the T-slot, getting those cleaned up. You didn't want to leave any extra WD-40 because that stuff just attracts dust like nobody's business. And I really wanted those valleys to be as clean as possible. I don't want to be messing with the nastiness that'll leave behind over time. Now, after cleaning it up twice with the acetone, it was ready for its glide coat. And the instructions on this say to coat it once and then just wipe it up or rub it in to the surface of the steel in order to get it, you know, ingrained into the grain of the steel. I elected to go ahead and do this twice, and in the end I was really happy with the results because the surface is ultra smooth right now. And I think maybe on the next pass, because I do have a little bit of residual staining, that I might take an orbital sander to it next time. I wasn't really going to do it on this one because it's such a small surface area, but I think maybe the next time I go to clean this, I might want to go ahead and get an orbital sander with a very fine sanding pad, just so that I can get up the rest of that residual staining that's in the steel there. But overall, I was pretty happy with the results, and you know, all I got to do is keep this coated up about once every couple of weeks or once a month, just to give it a quick clean with acetone, and then put the Bostik Glide coat on there, and it should be fine for a very long time, unless I want to go back and do that really deep clean. In the end, I'm pretty happy with the results. My name is Ben. You've been watching the Texas Tool Crib. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next one.